What's up, y'all? We got a new van we want to show you. Just kidding. Not a new van. This is the Winnebago ERA edition 70A. It's my in-laws. We're gonna give you a little tour of this van. This is a lot different than our van. We'll do some slight comparisons in another video, but for this one, I just want to walk you through kind of a luxury van build. We'll start with the outside. So, coming down the side here, you got a nice step up. That's included. A lot of the times that's an add-on for a lot of vans. If you look at the back, you have the dually wheels in the back. So there's two of those monsters, and then as usual, when you get to the higher end vehicles, this is built on the 4x4 Mercedes-Benz chassis, so you have four-wheel drive, which is amazing. Working our way around the back. Comes with a ladder, has the tow hitch, backup camera with the blind spots. Wiring is all set up, so if you're hooking up any type of trailer with lights, that is all configured for you already, and ladder is already on the van. So again, with us, this was a lot of stuff we had to think about adding on or not adding on, but when you go with something from the factory, especially from Winnebago, then that is all stock. Coming around to this side, this is kind of like all things water and electrical over here. So you have your shore power hookup, 30 amp, and then right here, really cool feature, high pressure water, hot and cold. So you hook up the hose to this nozzle and then spray away. Really, really good feature. We have something like this on ours, but coming off the side is actually really nice. The smaller container on the side here is going to be the propane refill under there. So you can fill the propane up, which is going to power your heater in this van. And then on this side is basically all things water. So you have a black tank and a gray tank. You see there's a water hookup there. And then you also have a water fill station here. And then you can flush the black tank here. So this is basically all things water related under here. So real quick, front of the vehicle, it's built on a diesel engine, if I didn't mention that yet, and it's a 2020. But up here, as far as the configuration goes and the insulation on the floor, it's a lot friendlier than a self-home converted build because these are utility vehicles. So when a Winnebago comes in, they insulate a lot and the drive ends up being a lot smoother and a lot more comfortable. A van like ours that's self-converted, a little bit more rugged. It's one thing you're gonna get when you buy the Winnebago ERA edition. All right, as you step into the van, really nice feature with the screen. We looked into this, we have the little magnetic one that closes, but when you're getting something that's built out from Winnebago, like I keep saying, you have all this stuff that's put in and very well designed. So this is beautiful screen, slides in and slides out. That is an awesome feature. So down here you have another option for your fresh water fill up. I believe it's about 20 to 25 gallon tank. I'm not quite sure on the specs with that. Then as you come up here, you have a cabinet. This connects to the inside, but it's great outdoor access, something we really wish we had in our van. As I showed you before, this folds up, and then as you come in, you have a couple switches down here. This is your awning, extend and then bring back, really nice because it's electrical and you don't have to wind it. And then here's your master on-off switch for the coach batteries. Come on in, let's get to the good stuff. So you'll see a seat when you come in. This is the ERA 70A edition. Now, the A versus the B has a little bit to do with the back portion when we get to the beds. We'll get to that, but you have your two captain seats up front, side one swivels, and then this actually pulls out into a bed. There's two seat belts here, so this is gonna slide out and pull into what I would think would be slightly smaller than a twin bed. This is gonna fold up, and then this piece is actually gonna pull down. So that's gonna create this nice long platform. Now, for somebody like me, slightly taller, a little bit more muscular, might not be a super comfortable sleep, but I feel like it definitely could fit a smaller individual or a kid if you're traveling with kids. All right, now we're gonna get to meat of the van. So you have your nice countertop, you have some good space up here, you have your stove, which is nicely covered. A lot of other vans have that, we don't. But then you got the propane right here, on off for the stove, and then over here you flip this up and you have the sink option that folds up. The sink is nice in here, it is fairly round, but a complaint that we've heard from our my in-laws, Allie's parents, they just wish it was a little bit deeper. We do have a nicer, deeper farmhouse sink, and a lot of the times on the self-build, that's something people put in and really take pride in. So I do think they could improve on that a little bit. So up here, you have some storage cabinets, similar overhead compartments for us. You can store a bunch up there, usually food, spice related. Now we come to the guts of the van, the power center of the van, if you will. So you have your solar controller and your charger. You can see where you are, how many amps you're pulling in, if things are functioning very well. Over here you have your inverter. You can turn that on and off so you can get that 120 volt power if you need it. And then this is kind of a next level type of touchscreen edition that you would have. So if you want to turn any lights on, like the ceiling light or the backlight, they come on just by this nice touchscreen, where ours, you know, are all switches. And then really cool, this is a level monitor for your battery, coach, chassis, gray, fresh, black water. So that's all in there. This is a little check on the awning. Another check on the battery and power management. Ooh, living room temperature. You want to boost things up a little bit, just tap that. So your main power control here is obviously done very well. It's done by professionals. They do a ton of these. So I can't speak to the functionality of it besides what my in-law said, where it is not super accurate sometimes, and their black water sensor is actually broken. So like with most things in the van, things break a lot. But overall, very clean, very well done. It gives you a lot of information. Microwave. So you have your microwave. That's a little bit of a upgrade for most vans, not a luxury that all of us have. Most of the time when they're turning stuff like on, that's a very heavy power draw. They do have a generator that automatically turns on, that runs from the gas that is in the vehicle already. So another very good option for this van. So you have your fridge, pretty good storage there, and then a freezer below, which is also a really kind of higher end option, I would say. A lot of people don't have the fridge freezer combo. Flowing down here, you have your bathroom. Luxury for some people. I don't think it's necessary. You have your sink. Water's obviously on demand, not a foot pump or a hand pump. You have the shower in here, and then you have a toilet because you have black water and gray water in this van, which is another huge luxury, especially for van lifers. I don't believe my in-laws have ever used the shower. I do think it is extremely tight in here, and then that's one of those things, indoor shower, that is just hard to fit in a van. Come on back to the bedroom. So this is the big difference between the 70A and the 70B. This is the 70A. My mother-in-law really liked this layout and option as far as the beds go. With the 70B, they're kind of more tucked up to one side with the bathroom brought towards the back. So where I'm standing actually fits a wedge piece. So right here at my waist, there's a triangle wedge piece that goes in here, which creates a full bed on this whole side. So the drawback to that is then it's very hard to get in and out of the beds. And so my in-laws have decided to just go with the option of this stays the same, and it's kind of like two singles on each side. So they each have their side. Sleeping works out really well for them, and then they can get in and out of the bed also very easily, and they don't have to lug around that middle piece. So view from the other side, you can see they have a nice TV here, DVD player, all that stuff is built in. If you flash over towards the side, there's some nice LED lights over here. Ooh, with the mood lighting. And then they have their USB all hooked up to the side. Shades are built in, so you can pull these down for a little privacy and also protection. And then from here, you can have your own kind of heat control. If it's chilly outside, you can decide if you want your window open or not, which is obviously a really nice feature. All around the top, there's storage. My in-laws actually traveled in here for a while, and then had trouble with some of the drawers and hinges because they had to pinch so hard. It was giving them pain in their wrists and forearms, and they ended up switching out a lot of the hinges. So I guess well built because these things aren't going to open while you're driving, but almost too difficult from that stock factory perspective, where if you're living in the van and constantly using the drawers, that it's pretty big inconvenience. One piece that my wife Allie and I are really jealous of is they have these beautiful screens in the back. Just awesome. That is next level when it comes to the van. If you could have that built in, we would highly recommend it. So they have this that pulls down, and then there's just a screen option that pulls down above that. So you can either have blinds, so you can have privacy, or you can have just the screen to protect you from the bugs. And then those go up. Really, really nice feature there. There's some switches here over the head, which, you know, in a professional build, a lot of these things are thought of, but in ours, which is more of a homemade build, we don't have the switches back while we're laying in bed. We don't have the chargers back while we're laying in bed. So a lot of these things have been dialed in. Gets a little tight when some of the doors are opened, but this pantry, as you can see, is really nice. A lot of pull-out shelves, storage all the way up and down. It's one of those beneficial things of a lot being covered and thought of because they have so much experience with this type of build that they're going to be able to pack as much punch as they can in these little compartments. All right, one thing Allie and I talked about a lot with this type of build or van after spending some time in it, being around it a lot with our in-laws since they're traveling with us, everything is built in and hard to add on to. So this is all plastic. It's meant to last, supposed to be durable. Not that it feels cheap, but you can't drill anything into it or add much onto it. Not that there's a ton of space to add anything onto, but in ours we have those options to add on hooks, make little adjustments here and there where everything here is kind of locked in. The one creative piece my in-laws have done is some of these sticky hooks. Obviously they're only going to hold so much for so long, but that would be a drawback from getting something that's stock or factory from Winnebago. Doors open. Also open all the way. If you want that full view from the back of the van when you're hanging. This shade right here, which you showed before, again, awesome feature, as you can see if you're just laying up in the bed. And then the real sweet spot, the storage that you really get for any toys and fun, is back here. So this is all on a slider. So if you unclip this hitch, this slides out for real nice, convenient access. As you can see, plenty of storage back here. There's even room with the stuff they have. Another couple bins if you wanted to be organized. A little bit of extra storage on each side here. And then here's the outdoor hose, which I was talking to you about earlier, high pressure hose that you could just hook up to the outside of the vehicle over there. SprintSlow fam, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tour of the Winnebago ERA 70A edition. If you have any questions, Allie and I spent a lot of time in and around this van. If you're thinking about getting one, be happy to answer one. Drop a comment below, and as always, please consider subscribing.